Good morning, Trojans. Today is Wednesday, October 7th. I'm Adelaide. Let's get into some morning announcements. Today is an A day and there is not advisory. Don't forget to sign up for Elite Basketball by October 22nd. No late registrations will be accepted. Girls will begin after the holiday break. 8th grade students, the Washington, D.C. trip has been approved for spring travel. An email about the trip was sent out to 8th grade students and parents last night. The trip is set for May 3rd through 6th, and the cost is $1,800. Ms. Mackey is here to talk more about this.
All right, good morning, students. I hope you're having a pleasant morning. Thanks, Adelaide, for having me on. I just wanted to answer a few questions that have been coming through email about the DC trip. First of all, you should read the information carefully with your parents because there is a lot to kind of understand and unpack about the trip this year, especially with COVID and some of the rules about masking and things like that. So we want to make sure everybody understands what they're getting into before they decide if they're going to go or not. Also, the travel dates are May 3rd through 6th, 2022. You have payment plans that get set up online once you're approved to go on the trip. However, the approval needs to be done with an application to me. That is a Google form that you fill out. And then also you have to have a teacher recommendation. And then probably the biggest things that I think are student concerns about the trip are that I do have a strict cell phone policy for the trip, and that does mean you can bring your cell phone. However, there are quite a few times you won't have it in your possession because we want you guys focused and engaged on the trip, and we want you to be socially engaged with your peers on the trip. And we've found that sometimes students aren't able to sort of disengage from their cell phones when they have them all the time. So that's something we want to manage for you. So that is one piece. You've got to be okay with that. And then probably the other piece is this, the mask. And I have to tell you that Washington, D.C. still has full masking happening in all buildings and locations, stores. Anything you walk into, you have to have a mask on. So we might be in a museum for 3 hours and you have to have your mask on. And that's not going to be something that's negotiable. It's got to be over your nose and your mouth. You can't be doing the under thing. So I need you to be really prepared for that and be okay with it. And I see a lot of students in the hallways and walking around that are not wearing their masks properly. And I would say to those students, you probably shouldn't apply for the Washington, D.C. trip. I will be watching for that. I will be asking your teachers if you're able to handle that responsibility. So those are probably the biggest things I would say about the trip. It's really fun. I really would love to take you guys and have a great time. I think our plan is for Mr. Perkins to join us this year, so I know he's excited about that. So we want to have a great time, but there are just some really specific rules that have to be followed if you're planning to come. I am going to have a virtual meeting for parents and students next Thursday. So that link will be sent out if you have any interest in joining that and listening to some more questions and answers. But that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mackey.
Thanks.
Tomorrow is our next Minute to Win It challenge with Mr. Busamra. Don't miss out. Now it's time for some Trojan tickets. If your name is called, please come down to the main office for a small prize. First, we have Jack Dewey for fantastic library behavior from Miss Unger. Then we have Chris Gerbach for coming in during lunch for extra help on a project from Mr. Schaefer. And then we have William Songer for leading our discussion from Miss Justin. Now let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great day, East.